Hey everybody, so we're back from our Highland Park Lapidary warehouse trip. Actually, it's January 3rd, 2025, so happy belated New Year. A little bit of time has passed since our visit, but today I wanted to give you an overview of the things that I brought back. So I ended up bringing some equipment back with me, also some rock. So I want to show all that to you today. Also, we did a bit of a shop makeover in the last 3 weeks. I did a little bit of renovating in the shop. I have a little corner in my garage that I use, and I kind of spruced it up a bit. And I'm excited to show you guys to see what you think about it. So we're going to do that today. Here's a before look of the garage, how it looked, my shop area, how it looked before the renovation. And this is the after. So these are the renovations I did. Basically, I just put some soundproof paneling on the wall, just in this corner. Put some crown molding up. Obviously got the TV in here now, because sometimes I'm down here for hours, and it's nice to have, you know, something on the TV right now. I got it on the Rockhounding Life channel right now. But, you know, I watch other videos while I'm down here, or I'll watch football games or something. I got the cool Rockhounding Life neon sign. I just did the RH Life. That's usually what the codes for all my affiliate codes and everything. So, but I kind of like the abbreviated Rockhounding Life sign. Before, you know, we had just the pink insulation, and you know, every once in a while people would comment saying, "Hey, why don't you finish your garage?" It's you don't, you know, I added this garage on myself actually years and years ago, and I just never got around to finishing the inside of it. You know, once you do a project and you're, you know, I spent months and months building this thing, and it was like at the end I was like, I just got to stop, and then I never actually got back to doing it. But you know, this is part of the thing I told myself I was going to do, just to kind of this corner spruce it up a bit. I'm actually not done. I do have the ceiling to put on, so you can see the ceiling is not finished, so I still have to put the ceiling up, and I'm going to paint the crown molding black to match the inner black of the panels there. That's the new shop. So I was thinking I'd just go ahead. I got some new machines too from Highland Park, so I figured I'd go station to station, just you know, show the machine and give a little explanation of what I use it for. So let's start over here. This is my brand new 10-inch slab saw from Highland Park. This is the stainless steel model, and I haven't actually used this yet. We're going to use it in today's video. We're going to pick a rock today, and we're going to cut a rock on this machine today. This machine just hums. It's unbelievable. It's got a 1/2 horsepower motor, which is, for a 10-inch saw, is pretty beefy. That's, you know, more horsepower than most saws this size on the market. But yeah, it's great. My favorite part about this machine, though, before I have used it yet, is the drain valve. The drain valve's awesome. So it's built below the deck, so all the water is definitely going to drain. I've sloped it slightly in the back, so all the water is running, you know, to the front of the drain. So anytime I drain this, all the water's getting out. With a stainless steel saw, you definitely want to drain the water after every use, but it's super easy. It's, you know, people might think that's a nuisance, but it's not. With this drain valve, all I do is I put a bucket under here. You know, here's my bucket with water. I'll dump that in. You see a little hole there? You just dump it on the deck. The water goes in. I've already pre-measured how much water it takes to get, you know, 1/8 coverage of the bottom of the saw. So I'll dump that water in there. I'll cut my rock, and then when I'm done, I just drain the water into my bucket from here, and I'll actually reuse that water. I'll just reuse the water again. As long as I'm dumping it out every time, you know, it's great. And then probably every few months, maybe every 6 months, I'll take the table off and I'll clean the inside. So that's my plan with this saw. It's gonna be a great addition to the shop. Next here in the lineup is my Hi-Tech Diamond 8-inch flat lap. So I love this machine. It's my favorite machine that Hi-Tech makes. There is a bit of a learner's curve with it, but once you get over that curve, once you figure out the right combination of discs you need for your own setup and the rocks that you're polishing, it's actually a very useful tool, and it's very easy to use, and I get great polishes with it. It's a variable speed. I use this to polish flat polishes mostly. If I want a flat surface polish, I'll use this flat lap. I don't polish anything usually bigger than, you know, an inch and a half on this. Anything more, like if you're getting in the 2-inch to 3-inch range, it can do it, but it's extremely frustrating, and the grinding stages take a long time, because flat polishing something on this size of a machine is very time consuming and can be tedious. So I usually try to keep my polished pieces on this machine to, 1 to 1.5 inches. Definitely under 2 inches. But again, one of my favorite machines. So this is another machine that I picked up from Highland Park during my trip. This is the 6-inch Intarsia machine, and I am beyond excited to use this. I've already used it actually. I've been doing some precision grinding with this tool. You can see I have my 90-degree jig on here, so this ensures I'm cutting true 90 degrees. So these are perfect squares that I've cut. These are just limb casts. You can see the agates. It's a really cool one here that I'm going to be using as a centerpiece of an Intarsia piece that I'm making. But these are all true squares because I've used my 90-degree jig on my Intarsia machine. And yeah, I'm going to be using this quite a lot. Give me lots of videos reviewing this and featuring it in the channel. This is one of the machines I was targeting getting when I went down. Super excited to use this and show you guys what we can do with it. So next up, and one of the big upgrades that I've done to the shop, is the variable speed Highland Park CB8. Having the ability to go variable speed is really awesome. I was polishing things like fluorite and softer materials, and the speed that I was using on my previous machine was just too fast. I couldn't really control my grind as well as I would have liked. So the variable speed allows me to run the wheels very slowly and be very more precise with softer materials. So that's something that I really wanted to upgrade to. I'm glad I have this machine. I'll let you know how I set up my CAD machines in a minute, but first we'll just go to the CB6, which I also picked up from Highland Park during my trip. The thing I love about the CB6 is that it has really big spacing between the wheels. On my last machine, I was clipping my fingers on the sides and getting little nicks. They're not dangerous nicks, but I get little nicks on the side of my fingers. And this one, lots of space. Like there's, some 2 inches there, almost 1.5 inches there. Lots of space. It's not a variable speed. I think Highland Park is going to eventually make this a variable speed model, have a variable speed model for this, but right now you can just get it in the single speed. How I like to run my CAD machines is I use my CB8 for all my grinding. So I have all basically low grit wheels on this. This is a 60 grit wheel, grinding wheel. This is a 180. This is a 60 resin wheel. This is my 280 wheel. This is a very important stage. So that's my 280 wheel. And I have a 600 wheel. So the highest grit wheel I have on here, for the resin wheels, is a 600. And this is a 140 grit resin wheel. So, nothing higher than 600 on this machine. And then I use my CB8 for all my polishing. With the exception of this, I have a 220 wheel here that I stick on here so that I have more versatile grinding. So there's a 220 here, and then I have my 60 and 180. But then after that, it's just basically straight polishing. So this is a 1200, 3000, and then I have 8000, 14, and 50. So, and then you have the polishing pad on the side. But that's how I like to set up my CAD machine, so that basically I start over here and I just run it right through. That's kind of how I like to polish my cabs. This is my baby. This is the Highland Park 24-inch slab saw. It's a beast. I use this to cut all my big rocks and medium rocks too. I put anything 4-inch and up in this thing. And it's got a precision diamond wheel on it. So I tell you, when you cut a slab on this, it's basically already polished to like 400 to 600 grit. It's super, it comes out shiny basically. It's such a great saw blade, and I love it. I love this machine. It's the crown jewel of my shop. Having the 24-inch slab saw was such a game changer for me. Can't cut any of my big rocks without it. Here's my tumbler setup. So I have a Highland Park dual barrel. This is 2 3-pound barrels, so 6 pounds rotary. And then I have a 12-pound barrel. I'll be using these to basically shape my stones. And then I have my trusty Lotto tumbler, which I use for all my final polishing. I'll basically use the rotary tumblers for stage 1. Then I'll do the other 4 stages in my vibratory tumbler, my Lotto tumbler. So that's my tumbler setup. I'll probably do videos showing you the usage of these Highland Park machines. They're unbelievable tumblers. I'm just going to say that right now. If you want to see a review on these tumblers, head over to Michigan Rock's channel. He does a review on them. And, you know, lots of great things, lots of great innovations into these machines. I highly recommend you check them out. There's just more efficiency out of these tumblers. They're very, very well built. Great machines. Let me talk about drainage for a sec. So how do I plumb all this? Well, basically it's pretty simple. I don't mind filling buckets. You know, I see other people on channels, you know, they run these elaborate plumbing schemes. I don't do that. I basically have a big tote. I fill it up with water. I just run a hose in here. My hose is basically just outside the door over there. And I just run my hose in here, fill this up. I have a couple of pumps in here that feed the cabbing machines. I have a couple of 5-gallon buckets that I just drain water into from all the machines. So there's drainage from the CB8 and there's drainage from the CB6. I've actually, the drain valves in the back, I've actually drilled them through the table. You can see that's nice and sturdy. Same thing on the CB8. Those drain down through the table into the 5-gallon buckets. And I just empty those out probably once a week. The Intarsia machine is the only other machine that I have to worry about draining. It has a drain valve right in there, which comes out the back of the machine, which I send down through the table and into one of those 5-gallon buckets. And the water feed for it is obviously this 1 liter jug here. You just fill it up and it's, you know, that jug will last probably a week. But those are the machines. Storage, I just have all my, basically my immediate storage I have here. So slabs, rocks that I know I'm going to be working with here soon. You know, they're all here in the bins. You know, here's some slabs I have. Just various materials. Usually if I'm done working with something, I'll just throw it in the slab drawer. There's some agates that need to be polished. Got some rough material here to work with. Here's some polished stones that came out of the tumbler. You know, I got my limb casts all in here. Got some Montana rocks in here. So yeah, just right now there's not much rhyme or reason to the storage. Just it's under the table, not on top of the tables. That's my big goal. And if you're wondering, oh, Highland Park was super generous to give Jason all this equipment. Well, they actually didn't give it to me. I actually had to barter for it, or pay for it, if you will. I gave them quite a lot of rock. Probably took down 500 pounds of rock. And let me tell you, I gave them a lot of really nice stuff. So a lot of my top premium stuff that I had in storage for quite a while. Some old stock stuff. And sad to see some of it go, but yeah, you know what? It's definitely beneficial for the shop to get this equipment and showcase it for you guys and use it to further the channel. So I was okay with parting with it. Really, what was it doing anyway? It was just sitting in boxes in my shed. So might as well put it to good use, right? So not only did I come home with machines, but I came home with a little bit of rock as well. As you saw in my previous videos the last few weeks, Highland Park is not just an equipment manufacturing company. They also are one of the largest providers of rough rock in the world. They sell massive quantities of rock in their live sales. Every night, basically. They run them, right now they run them 5 days a week, but I know they're going to ramp it up to 7 days a week. So they will run live sales every night. It's a great opportunity to go over there and get yourself some rock at probably a pretty good price, because definitely cheaper than what you get it on eBay or some other sites. One of the things I picked up, definitely, I saw this in their bins. They had a huge Cripple Creek picture jasper bin, and I needed to get me some of that because I'm going to be using this for some Intarsia work. Cripple Creek jaspers from Oregon, and it's just really beautiful picture jasper. You get these blues mixed in with these landscapes. Sometimes you get these dendritic features on there that look like trees. I mean, really awesome stuff. So got 2 big chunks of that stuff. I also got some purple jade. This is from Turkey. Wanted to get some of this last year when I was at the warehouse, but I didn't end up getting any, but I made sure I got some this year. Saw some thulite. This is from Norway, and it's a pretty hard material. Zeke tells me it takes a really good polish, and I'm going to be working with this also this year. Of course, one of my all-time favorites, some showerite. This is from Russia. This is a lower grade piece, and it's gonna be nice for making some jewelry out of. So really cool stuff to work with. Another material I'm really excited to work with is this script stone. I don't know much about it. I do know that the yellow is fossils. It's fossilized material. And there's The red's hematite. This is gold sheen obsidian. I can't remember exactly where this comes from, but you can see a little bit of that gold sheen in there. You can see it right there. Got a nice big chunk of smoky quartz. See if we can get something for faceting on our new Vevor faceting machine. And I couldn't leave Highland Park without picking up some of the amazing agates they have there. I got some Malawi Botswana agates. Got 5 a nice big one, medium-sized nodules there. Got a Moctezuma agate from Mexico here. These are quite spectacular, I'm told. So John only gave me one, but excited to open that one. This is a Montana agate, but I saw this in the bin. Check out the banding that's coming through in this. I mean, that's going to be an awesome Montana agate. Got a couple of big Brazilians here. These are some nice big ones. Full rounds. I also picked up some Caddy Mountain Moss agate. This is from California. Also got some old stock Laguna agate. Here's one that's a double bubble. John tells me that the old stock Lagunas aren't as vibrant in color, but have the potential to be more spectacular with the banding. So interested to cut those. Also picked up some Mozambique agates. I've never cut these. Got 7 of those. I also picked up some Idaho Sunset agate, some seam agate. Now when I saw this, I was like, you know what? Seam agate, colorful, right up my alley. Just like what we have here in Nova Scotia, but I have never seen these colors. And lastly, I had to pick up some of my all-time favorite 1970 Malawi old stock. These are huge, and these are like some of the best agates I've ever cut. I mean, these are so nice. They're super. Look at this one. This one's already got a window on it. But you can already tell that's, you know, that's got purples, and yeah, these are just beautiful, beautiful agates. So we'll be featuring a lot of this rock in the upcoming videos. So I told you we cut a rock on my new 10-inch Highland Park stainless steel slab saw. Let's test the limits of this saw right away. So I've got that nice Montana agate with the banding. Montana agates, as you know, are extremely hard, super hard. Some of the hardest material you'll cut. So let's see how this saw does. This is a bigger rock. It's probably 3.5 inches by 2. Let's cut it like right along here. That was unbelievable. That saw cut that like butter. I've never cut a Montana agate that easily. If you've seen me cut Montana agates before, I struggle cutting them. They're very, very difficult to cut. This saw cut through this. It demolished it. It basically just, it was like cutting butter. Super impressed with this motor on this saw. It didn't once, you know, when you know when a motor's struggling to get through a rock, it'll start, you know, dying. The motor, the rotation, the RPMs will start to slow. You'll hear, this did not do that. It just stayed steady the whole time. I put a steady feed on it. Beautiful, beautiful cut. So let's see what this Montana agate looks like. Whew. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Oh, man. It's a bit fractured up, but holy smokes. What a nice agate. Look at the water line in the middle. Water line, agate, and then it's concentric agate around. Wow, that's a super awesome agate. Even with the fracturing, I'll polish that up for sure. That's a super nice agate. And on this side, I'll contour polish this because I already got the bands exposed, and I'll surface polish. That's gonna be a nice specimen. But wow, that's a really nice agate. Too bad about the fracturing. That would have been a specimen. Wow, that's super nice. Now, as I mentioned before, because this is stainless, I am going to clean the top. And I'm going to drain all the water out right now. So this attachment does not come with the saw, but easy. You just go out and buy this, and it's threads into a 1/2 inch thread. Basically all I do is I just drain the water out. I'll just let that drain all the way out. Easy. And I'll just clean the top, and then I'm ready for the next use. A couple other features on this saw that I forgot to mention is the hood. So this hood's removable. Like, I can just take that off. You saw me cut the agate with the hood off. I just prefer it that way. But if you don't want to get splashing anywhere, there wasn't much splash from that, by the way. The splash guard here on the top pretty much does a good job of keeping the water from getting on you. But if you're doing a lot of work and you're cutting a lot of rocks and you don't want to get soaked, you can put this on there. And just, it's got ports in here for your hands to control the rock. Another feature is the vise. So I didn't use the vise to cut any of those agates, but you can vise your agate up and cut slabs off of it, if that's what you prefer to do. But if you don't, then you just flip it out of the way, cut your rock. Easy peasy. This is a fabulous saw. Just used it once, but the quality of the build, this machine is $800. It's the cheapest machine you can get at this size on the market right now. You can run water with it. It's great. The only thing with running the water is you just drain it every time. But that water's already drained out of there. And when I use the water again, I'll just dump that water back in and then drain it again. Super simple. I mean, my cleanup here was 5 minutes. First impressions are fabulous. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that little look and overview and little tour of the new Rockhounding Life workshop. It was long overdue to kind of make a little more of this space, and this is all I need right now. Perfect little space for me to just come down and work on my hobby that I love. If I need more space in the future, I'll expand, but for now, this is perfect for me. We are an official affiliate partner with Highland Park now. If you want to head on over to check out some of their stuff, there's an affiliate link that I have in the description of this video, and you can use the code RHLife at checkout. That'll give me commission if you buy anything. So just being upfront, I do get commission from sales. So if you need anything over there, go over and check it out. I will give you honest reviews. There's also a link to the live sales in the description as well. If you want to go over there and check out all the awesome rock they have they sell agate nodules uncut, so you can cut them yourself. They sell slabs. They have a sphere night. They have, it's just a plethora of rock. It's a rock enthusiast dream. The rock that they have, they source it from all over the world. They source it from North America, Asia, everywhere, Europe. They get rock from everywhere. They don't hold back. So head on over there, check it out. Link in the description. Highly recommend Highland Park. Thanks to Sherman and John for that tour they gave me. I tell you, those guys are doing great things for this hobby. I was super impressed talking to them. Their commitment and drive, customer service is impeccable. I mean, while I was down there, I saw these guys, Sherman and John, working on machines, getting machines ready for deliveries. I mean, there was one point I was walking around with Zeke. John was with us. He disappeared. I went over to look for him. He was at his workbench getting a machine ready. The guy just multitasks. He's, super into his craft. He cares about the quality of the products he's putting out. It's really awesome to see that. And, I got to see that firsthand. You don't get customer service like that anywhere else in this hobby. It's something that I want to be a part of. It goes with the values that I have and the vision that I see where the hobby's going, and they're looking to improve the hobby, and that's the thing that gets me. I want to be part of that. So I highly recommend. I'll be an ambassador for them any day of the week. They're top-notch guys. The operation they have down there is awesome, and yeah, like I said, they just care. They care. They care about getting you guys good rock. They care about putting good machines in your hand. Like I said, when John makes a machine, he tries to make it the best and most affordable machine. That machine right there, to me, is the best 10-inch saw you can get on the market, and it's the cheapest saw you can get. So that just goes to show the kind of commitment they're making. So yeah, go over, check them out. Link in the description. RH Life. You see the code right there. I put it on the wall. RH Life is the code. Use it at checkout. I do get commission for any sales, so appreciate you helping the channel out, helping yourself out. I hope everybody has a great new year. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all the support you've given our channel over the years. I wouldn't be motivated to do this without the following and the community we built. So thank you very much to all the loyal subscribers and return watchers to the channel. I do this because of you. If not, this would be just a couple machines here in the basement with rocks spread everywhere. I wouldn't care. But because you guys come back every week, I want to make it look nice. And I want to give you guys top quality content. So thank you for coming back every week. With that, have a great new year. And we will catch you in the next one.